Namaste. My name is Shashikant Joshi, and some of you might know me from Practical Sanskrit. And I want to share some good news that I am offering some online courses on PracticalSanskrit.com. A little background about me. I have done my bachelor's in computer science from IIT Kharagpur and did my master's in computer science from US. And I worked for almost 2 decades in the US and almost 2 decades in India, with about 30 years in IT industry. I've taken recently retirement to focus fully on my passion of Sanskrit. So my passion for Sanskrit started in school itself. And then in 2009, I started a blog called PracticalSanskrit.com, and where I shared some of my thoughts on Sanskrit topics. My focus mainly is not about the language itself, learning the language for the sake of the language, but on the wisdom that is contained in the Sanskrit works and how to bring that wisdom for today's time. Because when time and space changes, at least time changes, then priorities might change, the wisdom might need to be adapted a little bit for the current time. So my focus is on that. In 2009, I started a Facebook page called Practical Sanskrit, and it grew very quickly with 19,000 followers by 2011. In the same year, I wrote a book called Attitude Shift, Sanskrit Maxims for Contemporary Life and Leadership, where I took single line Sanskrit maxims called Nyayas and mapped them for today's leadership and management at workplace as well as in our personal life. And it was a very well received book. And then the Facebook page grew to almost 34,000 followers. Then I created some more content during COVID time, which was the time when online Zoom calls and these kind of things started. So there was a 20 sessions worth of weekly sessions, 1 hour each, that I had conducted during COVID time. After that, I've created content on Hitopadesh, which is a work of Niti. I've created the video content as a course on the entire Attitude Shift book. In January 2024, I did a 3-week-long daily webinar covering the Valmiki Ramayana. And there I've tried to cover things that we don't normally know. We all know the story of Ramayana, the events and all, through TV serials, movies and all. But there are a lot of things that are, not mentioned, or we just skip it because it is deep wisdom. And that is one of the reasons for the creation of Valmiki Ramayana, 24,000 shlokas. Even if you take the core part of it without the Balkand and the Uttarkand, there is a lot of wisdom in Ramayana that we can apply. And there's a lot of interesting information in Ramayana about the time, about the life of people and kind of occupations, how the king and the subjects would interact and things like that. So all that is also covered in this 3-week-long daily webinar session, which is also available as an online course now. I'm also creating courses about understanding devotion on the bhakti and the religious stotras, as well as there's one on Hitopadesh, as I mentioned. So my goal here is not just to learn the language as a dry language by itself. Yes, there is that's also an aspect, but there are a lot of resources to learn just the language. And the importance of language mostly is about the wisdom it carries through the content created in that language. In that sense, also Sanskrit stands apart a lot, because the Sanskrit works have covered almost all dimensions of the mind. So how we think, what motivates us, what are the driving forces, what are the negative aspects of our psychology, positive aspects, and things like that, how to keep ourselves calm. There's a lot of spirituality also, but there's a lot of practical wisdom. And I think we miss out on the practical wisdom part of it, giving undue importance only on the spiritual and the religious part. Because depending on our stage in life, we need different kinds of wisdoms. You wouldn't tell a young entrepreneur or a person who has just been married and has a job and all to say, oh, this is all Maya and, don't worry about money, don't hoard money, nothing like that. That doesn't work, right? So a young person who is ready to go to do karma and all, needs more than just the spirituality and needs some practical advice also. So there are a lot of varieties of courses, and I'll be bringing more work. Please do visit PracticalSanskrit.com, and from there you will get links to all the other social media pages, as well as the course page and all, and also to the classic blog where I have been writing. So do visit PracticalSanskrit.com. This is Shashikant Joshi, and welcome to learning the wisdom of Sanskrit. Namaste.